Here on PrizePicks for Friday, January 27th. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There's a Discord link in the description as well as the Patreon link where I do post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. A couple of housekeeping notes. We got the Flex Friday here on PrizePicks, $20 protected play on your first flex entry. Obviously, this does not apply to a power play flex entry, you guys. And we still do have the Joe Burrow 0.5 pass yards, the free square on PrizePicks. So again, if you're not yet signed up for PrizePicks, promo code TUFF or the link in the description below for the 100% deposit match. And Patreon yesterday, we had a nice day. Better green day as we've kind of been having this week. It's been kind of a bloodbath type of a week, but 6-1 on the day on the core play is just an example of the type of core play write-ups that I do give here for these NBA player props, deep core analysis, research, every single day on PrizePicks for the sports that I do play. So again, links are all in the description below. But let's get into it, you guys. We have a smaller slate today, a super small slate actually. I think there's only 5 games today. 5 games on the slate, so a super small slate. Obviously, these smaller slates tougher because there's just less player props to choose from. But also, I think there's a little bit with less player props, you can lock in a little bit more. But I got 3 plays. I'm going to continue to do 3 plays on YouTube until we completely hit all 3 plays. That's just what I'm going to do. I want to just provide the most value possible to you guys. Again, you don't need to tail all 3 picks in a power play. More specifically, that I'm just giving you 3 plays. Pick and choose which ones you guys like. Again, I'm not a gambling expert. It's not financial advice. Really just got to take the information I give you, combine it with the information and research you've gathered, and make your decisions based on that. But let's get into you guys 3 plays that I do like. The first one is going to be Scotty Barnes. And I like his over 5 assists here against the Golden State Warriors. So he's at this pusher better in his last 5 games, 5, 5, 5, and 6, and 10 assists. Coming off a game where he had 10 assists against Sacramento here. But taking a look at this game, over-unders at 234.5. Golden State's 5-point home favorites. Andrew Wiggins is questionable, which should allow, I think, probably Scotty Barnes to play even better. I think he's going to have more opportunities without Wiggins. Obviously, the way the Raptors play offensively, so many moving pieces, so many players play different positions. But Scotty Barnes has really been a point guard as of late. If we take a look at his game log this season, I mean, like I said, pusher better in his last 5 games here. He's got at least 5 assists in actually 7 of his last 9 games here, 9 and 7 here against Charlotte. But I wanted to see something that was interesting here. If we take a look at Scotty Barnes this season, right? These are like over his last 25 games. Pusher better in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of his last 25, right? But take a look at this. So all the games, look at these games he's cleared 5 assists. So against Charlotte, 7, Indiana, 8, Charlotte, 9, Sacramento twice, he both had 10. If we take a look at NBA pace, right? OKC, Indiana, Minnesota, Sacramento, Charlotte, all top 10 in pace, and all of those teams Scotty Barnes has had over 5 assists here, right? Sacramento, Charlotte, Indiana, Charlotte, Minnesota has 5 assists or more in each of those games. Okay, 5 assists or more for Scotty Barnes in each of those games here. Just the way he's been playing, if we take a look over his last 10 games, averaging 10.3 potential assists, converting 5.7 of those. He's making 55.4 passes, or 62.8 passes, 55.4 passes received, playing 36.8 minutes, you guys. A ton of minutes for Scotty Barnes, 10.3 potential assists for a player. I think that's just going to continue to grow here for Scotty Barnes, even if we sort this by, let's just sort this by his last 2 games here. Barnes, 14.5 potential assists over his last 2 games. And in that last game against Sacramento where he did have 10 assists, right? He had 18 potential assists in that game. 18 potential assists. He had converted 10 of those. So Scotty Barnes really starting to become a playmaker, starting to get back to his roots, kind of what he was doing in his rookie season. I do like the odds here. Some sports consensus when it was at over 5.5 at -150. BetMGM has this at 4.5. DraftKings has this at 4.5. Both -160 and -150 on both of those. Caesars has this over 4.5 -169. So insane odds here at 5. I think at bare minimum we're looking at a push here for Scotty Barnes. Love this play here in a there's no team that plays faster in the NBA than the Golden State Warriors. We know Scotty Barnes has thrived in matchups against other teams in the top 10 in pace. I mean, OKC, Indiana, Minnesota, Sac, and Charlotte, you can see here, like I talked about, hit rate against those teams as far as assists goes through the roof. So I like Scotty Barnes. That's the first play, over 5 assists. The second play I'm targeting is going to be Josh Giddy over 12.5 rebounds plus assists here against Cleveland. Now, I think this is low. This is probably low as we've seen it in a while for Josh Giddy. I think it's low just because of the matchup, but OKC's been playing very well at home and just very well in general. But this matchup here for Scotty Barnes, for Josh Giddy, very interesting. So if you take a look at his points, rebounds plus assists game log this season, the hit rate is crazy, right? The floor is so high. Look at all the times, just double digits, right? At least 10 rebounds plus assists. 22 of his last 25 games, he's had at least 10 R plus A. 22 of his last 25 games. So the floor is extremely high for Josh Giddy. If we take a look here, in games this season without Lu Dort, right? Because Lu Dort is out for this game, which I think kind of slides Josh Giddy up in the lineup as far as his position. I think Aaron Wiggins plays more of the 2, and Josh Giddy plays more of a 3 combo 4. And obviously there's going to be more need for Josh Giddy to play more minutes in this game without Lu Dort. Lu Dort, obviously, a big factor here. Is for the OKC Thunder. It's just as far as usage goes. But Josh Giddy, hit rate is insane. If we take a look over his last 5 games, Josh Giddy's 13.8 rebounding chances per game, converting 8.4 of those. Assists, 13 potential rebounding chances, converting 6.8 of those. So we're looking at 26.8 R plus A chances here for Josh Giddy. All we need is 13. Okay, the odds are absolutely insane on the over here. Over 12.5, minus 133. Minus 133 is the consensus. Minus 135 here on BetMGM. But take a look at this, you guys. This is where the lines have been. Look at where these lines have been. 13.5, 14.5, 14.5, 14.5. Right? It was down to 13.5. It was up as high as 15.5 just about a week ago. 15.5, 15.5. This is as lowest we've seen it over the last 15 games here for Josh Giddy at 12.5. I think without Lu Dort, there is some value here. I do also think this has a chance to bump up. What's also I find interesting here is Josh Giddy's rebounds plus assists game log this season versus the Cavs, right? He's already faced the Cavs one time in Cleveland, and he had 19 R plus A in that game. 13 rebounds and 6 assists. 19 R plus A already versus Cleveland on the road. At home here for Josh Giddy, 12.5 rebounds plus assists. I like this play here. No Donovan Mitchell. I think this game can remain close. Josh Giddy should see 30 plus minutes here. So this is the second play, is Josh Giddy over 12.5 R plus A. And the third one is going to be Bam Adebayo here over 12.5 R plus A. So Bam Adebayo, I think, again, this has been at 13.5 recently, but Bam Adebayo, insane hit rate. The floor extremely high here. He's had double-digit R plus A, and like I said, similar to Josh Giddy, 22 of his last 25 games here. And if we take a look at Bam Adebayo's matchups against Wendell Carter in his career, it hasn't been many, but 4 games he's hit the over on this, 15, 19, 20, and 15 R plus A in those 4 games. 2 games here, he had 6 assists. I like the odds here as well on Bam Adebayo's over 12.5 R plus A. Caesars, BetMGM both have this minus 135. The over has hit 10 of his last 15 times when the line is set at 12.5. If we take a look at some of these previous lines, it is pretty low here for Bam Adebayo. This is up at 14.5. This has been as high as 13.5. It was at 13.5 just last game against Boston. So at 12.5, I think we do get a little bit of a discount here for Bam Adebayo. If we take a look at his, let's just take a quick look at his rebounding chances over his last 5 games. 19 rebounding chances, converting 11.2 of those here for Bam Adebayo. I do think, again, there is some somewhat potential blowout potential in this game here. Miami at home, fully healthy. But Miami, Orlando's been playing decent. They've been staying in games. I think a lot of these games Miami's been playing in have been somewhat close. And at 8, it's not too high. It's not double-digit spread. So I do like Bam Adebayo here over 12.5 rebounds plus assists. Here against the Orlando Magic. So these are the 3 plays here. Again, I'm not recommending you guys just make this a 3-man power play and just roll with it. To be honest, I think the best combination of plays is either 2-man powers if you're looking to build your bankroll, or then 5-man flexes, to be honest with you guys, as far as just what I think are the most profitable types of plays. So again, don't need to take all 3 of these plays. I just want to give you guys 3 to provide the most value to everyone. But again, Scotty Barnes over 5 assists, Josh Giddy over 12.5 R plus A, Bam Adebayo over 12.5 R plus A as well. So let me know in the comments below. You guys, small slate today. Hit that subscribe button. You guys drop a like on this video. And as always, let's cash.